testimony about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. Please be seated. I can tell that you're a soft spoker. We're having some audio issues in our courtroom. We're in the old building. So I'm going to ask you to get close to the microphone when you respond so you project and everyone can hear you.
Okay.
Before you start, Mr. Melvin, I'm going to admit Defendant's Exhibit 5 for the record only, and Defendant's Exhibit 6 for the record only without objection.
Good morning, Ms. Wendell.
Good morning. Good, how are you?
Made it over from Alabama, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's talk about what you used to do.
I am an auditor.
How about in July of 2020?
I was a crime scene technician here in Gwinnett County.
What were your duties and responsibilities as a crime scene technician?
We were dispatched out to crime scenes to take photographs, collect evidence, bring that back to the lab, photograph evidence, by the request of detectives, collect fingerprints, buccal swabs, all different types of things that they would need from us.
As it relates to the QT murder case, did you have involvement in the QT murder case?
Yes, sir.
Was a person by the name of David Blake brought to you a photograph?
Yes, he was brought upstairs, and I was requested to photograph.
Photographs of the British warrant 71 for the 80, and I should flip through those. See if it's familiar.
Yes, I am familiar with these photographs.
And how are you familiar with them?
I took them myself.
Are those photographs true and accurately represent Mr. Booker as he appeared tonight?
Yes.
The contender states 71 for 80.
Mr. Clegg.
I don't have any objections at all.
Okay. And Mr. Lewis, let me make sure I understand. Are you asking Mr. Melvin to ask this witness who are these photographs? I'm not understanding. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to reserve admitting these photographs until that. No, you don't have any objection. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's not the testifying, it's Mr. Melvin saying, got it. He's going to not do that again, correct?
Yes, ma'am. We'll
All
ask for a contemporaneous objection. Should I do that?
Absolutely. Okay. States Exhibit 71 through 80 are admitted without objection.
Ms. Wendelake, did you do anything else in this case?
I took buccal swabs.
Of which defendants, if you remember?
I know it was Mr. Collins and Mr. Booker.
Thank you. No further questions.
Chloe Renlick. Yes, sir.
The photographs that the prosecutors placed in front of you, are they all photos of the same person?
Yes.
One person. Do you recall when those photographs were taken?
July of 2022.
Okay, you don't know the date in July of 2022?
Not off the top of my head, sir.
I got you. When you took the photos, did you know the name of the person who was the subject of the photography?
Yes.
Okay. What was his name?
Mr. Booker.
I got you. Did you take any other photos of anyone else in this investigation?
I did take photos of Mr. Collins as well.
Got you. Do you recall when you took pictures of Mr. Collins?
Again, I don't remember the date specifically, but it was July of 2022.
Fair enough. Do you remember whose photos you took first between Mr. Booker and Mr. Collins?
I do not.
Okay. Was Mr. Booker cooperative when you were taking the photos?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Clegg?
In addition to taking photographs of him, you had made reference to collecting pupil swabs, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And would you have collected pupil swabs from both Mr. Booker and Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Just so we understand each other, a pupil swab is essentially, kind of looks like a Q-tip, right?
Yes, sir.
You take the Q-tip and put it into the mouth of the individual that you are collecting the sample from.
Yes.
The purpose of doing that is to seek to collect DNA evidence, correct?
Yes.
Once you have taken the pupil swab from, in this case, Mr. Collins, you would have secured that, put it in some sort of, like a plastic bag or something of that sort?
Yeah, it was put into a cardboard box, sealed, and then put into another additional bag and sealed as well.
You don't do any DNA testing yourself.
No, sir.
You simply collect the biological evidence that could be used for the purpose of DNA testing, right?
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Mr.
So after you put it in the envelope and sealed it, is it something similar in one of these bags or something that you would put it in?
Yes, ma'am. There's a cardboard box inside of those bags.
And you have to initial that,
Yes.
and it's with a specific case number,
Yes, ma'am.
and then what do you do?
I then put it into an evidence locker.
And who has access to that?
I believe I know these were put into the CSI units evidence lockers. We have a area in our unit that we would store there, and then it would be later submitted to the main evidence unit.
Were you ever requested to transport those samples to the GDI for testing?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Melvin?
And I apologize, Mr. Miller, when did you refer to pictures, spaces in the 77, 78, 79,
Oh, sorry. What was the numbers again? I'm sorry.
77?
76.
And I apologize, I don't know if I did this correctly, but 71 through 76, who's that pictures of?
Mr. Booker.
And 77 through 80.
That would be Mr. Collins.
Okay. I'm not sure if I made that clear, Judge. That is the tender of this. Thank you.
Ms. Winlet, my jury here this week has heard the term buccal swabs and buccal swabs. Can you talk to them about that, just so there's no misunderstanding?
It's the same thing. I'm sure it's just how the person wants to pronounce it. It's been a while since I have worked for Gwinnett. I may myself be mispronouncing it the wrong way. So, but buccal and buccal swab are the same exact DNA sample. Yes, ma'am.
You testified that after you concealed it and marked it appropriately, it went into an evidence storage place at CSI, and that eventually it would have been transported to the main evidence room.
Yes,
Did you transport it to the main evidence room?
I did not.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anytime you
Yes, sir.
Do you recall when you would have taken the actual photographs of Mr. Collins?
Those would have been taken at the same time that the buccal swab was collected.
And that would have been in July of 2000?
Yes, sir.
Right? Is it fair to say that at this juncture you don't recall the specific day, correct?
No, sir.
Now, you took the photograph, you documented some tattoos on the photographs, correct?
Yes.
And if there was any sign of physical injury to Mr. Collins, you would have taken pictures of those injuries as well, correct?
Yes.
Looking at my notes, it appears that you took a photograph of a side profile of Mr. Collins, correct?
Yes.
You took a photograph of the inside forearm of Mr. Collins, correct?
Yes.
You took a photograph of the side of his neck,
Yes.
a photograph of the top of his hands and the top of his forearms, is that correct?
Yes.
You did not observe any sort of injuries whatsoever to Mr. Collins, did you?
No, sir.
If you had in fact observed any sort of injuries, you would have taken a photograph of said injuries, would you not?
Yes.
You would have been in relatively close proximity to him when you took those pictures, right?
Yes.
Probably 3-4 feet away.
Yes. Or closer.
And when you guys take pictures of suspects in criminal cases, and especially in a homicide, you are not stingy with the number of pictures you take, right?
No, sir.
There were more than 4 pictures taken of Mr. Collins, correct? You've got 4 here, right?
Yes.
But typically you would take 20, 30 pictures of an individual who is arrested and charged in a homicide case.
Yeah, depending on the tattoos and injuries, anything that we need to further zoom in on.
Sure. Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
No further questions, yes, ask us to release this.
Mr. Clerk? All right, thank you very much. Ms. Winlick, you are